こんばんは。リラックスしながらお聞きください。英語で国内ニュースから今日の主なニュースをお届けします。
A fire at an elementary school in Tokyo's Kita ward on the morning of the 19th led to 11 people being taken to the hospital. This included 8 children and 3 teachers or staff. All students and staff were safely evacuated, with no one left behind. Police are currently investigating the cause of the fire.
A person reportedly carrying a knife was found on a Shinkansen train at JR Omiya Station in Saitama. Around 2 p.m. station staff alerted police, who secured the individual around 2:30 p.m. Fortunately, no injuries have been reported. Police are currently investigating the full details of the incident.
Prosecutors have announced they will not argue for a guilty verdict in the retrial of Hiroshi Sakahara. Sakahara died in prison after being convicted of a 1984 robbery murder in Shiga Prefecture. He had consistently maintained his innocence for the crime that occurred 42 years ago.
Foreign Minister Motegi announced that all Japanese-affiliated vessels carrying Japanese crew members have now left the Persian Gulf. The last remaining vessel, with 3 Japanese crew members aboard, successfully passed through the Strait of Hormuz on the 19th. This completes the evacuation of all such ships from the region.
Prosecutors have sought an indeterminate sentence of 10 to 15 years for a then 16-year-old boy. He is one of 3 defendants accused of robbery resulting in the death of a university student in Ebetsu, Hokkaido, in October 2024. The court's verdict for the teenager is expected on June 25th.
Revised postal privatization laws passed the upper house on the 19th. The government will now provide Japan Post with approximately 65 billion yen annually. This funding is intended to cover the costs of maintaining post offices nationwide. This change is expected to increase government involvement in Japan Post's operations.
A 33-year-old woman died after being stabbed in Fukuoka on the 18th, with over 10 stab wounds. A 36-year-old friend was arrested for suspected murder, reportedly stating, "I got angry and stabbed her." Police suspect strong intent to kill and are investigating the motive.
Chief Cabinet Secretary Kihara met with parliamentary leaders on the 19th to discuss stable imperial succession. He is believed to be explaining a draft bill outline. This proposal, stemming from the general will of the legislature, aims to secure the number of imperial family members for the future.
The Tokyo stock market's Nikkei average rose on the 19th, hitting a record high for the 5th consecutive day at closing. This surge is fueled by optimism after the United States and Iran reportedly signed a memorandum to end conflict, which is expected to normalize navigation in the Strait of Hormuz.
China is resuming group tours to Japan, with a state-owned tourism company offering 6-night, 7-day plans for summer. Visits include Tokyo and Kyoto. This reverses previous advice against Japan travel, in place since last November, following Prime Minister Takaichi's remarks on a Taiwan contingency.
次は社会のニュースです。
A fire broke out at an elementary school in Kita ward, Tokyo, on the morning of the 19th. 8 children and 3 teachers, totaling 11 people, were taken to the hospital with injuries. Fortunately, all students and staff were successfully evacuated, and authorities are investigating the cause of the fire.
In the Hinocho case retrial, prosecutors announced they will not argue for the guilt of the late Hiromu Sakahara. This decision makes his acquittal certain. Sakahara was convicted of robbery-murder in 1988 and died seeking a retrial. This marks only the second post-mortem retrial after World War II.
A 41-year-old suspect was arrested for stealing a safe containing 15 million yen from a Shinjuku apartment in April. Police believe he may also be involved in a robbery murder that occurred last month in Kamenokawa Town, Tochigi Prefecture, as he was seen near that crime scene.
Heavy oil leaked from a Japan Coast Guard patrol vessel docked in Shiogama City, Miyagi Prefecture. The Coast Guard reported on the 19th that a crew member overslept, missing 2 patrols, and thus failed to notice the leak. This oversight reportedly led to an expanded oil spill.
On June 19th, a break in the rainy season brought intense heat across Japan. Temperatures exceeded 30 degrees Celsius in Kanto, Tokai, and Kinki, with Nagoya hitting 33. Heat stroke warnings were issued, especially for the Yayayama region. Residents are urged to stay hydrated and use air conditioning.
A bill to revise the national referendum law passed the House of Representatives on June 19th. Supported by the ruling party, this bill aims to streamline procedures for constitutional amendments. The ruling party seeks to enact it during the current Diet session, hoping to facilitate early proposals for constitutional changes.
The revised social welfare law passed the House of Councilors on June 19th. This law expands support for elderly people who lack relatives to rely on. It addresses the increasing number of such individuals and the decreasing welfare service providers, aiming to meet diverse and complex welfare needs.
Police received a report on June 19th about a person with a knife on a Hokuriku Shinkansen train at JR Omiya Station. The incident occurred just after 2 p.m. Fortunately, no injuries were reported. Authorities quickly responded, and 1 individual was secured, resolving the situation.
A gas company representative and 3 employees in Fukuoka were referred to prosecutors. They allegedly certified LP gas containers as passed without proper inspections, violating the High-Pressure Gas Safety Act. This is the first nationwide case for a registered facility, with approximately 85,000 containers falsely certified.
次はビジネス関連のニュースです。
Japan's consumer prices, excluding fresh food, rose 1.4% year-on-year in May, matching April. Including fresh food, the overall index increased by 1.5%. While many food items like chocolate and tuna increased, rice prices fell 4.9% for the first time in 3.5 years. Government subsidies for gasoline and free high school tuition helped curb inflation.
The Nikkei average rose for its 7th straight day, closing at a new all-time high of 71,250 yen. It briefly reached over 71,900 yen. The market was boosted by positive U.S. trends and lower oil prices following a U.S.-Iran agreement. AI and semiconductor stocks performed strongly. However, some profit-taking later reduced earlier gains.
Despite the Bank of Japan raising interest rates to 1.0%, the yen depreciated to 160.90 against the dollar on June 18th, a 23-month low. This was driven by expectations of further U.S. rate hikes. Experts say the BOJ's increase was too slow and a lap behind other major central banks. Its gradual approach failed to strengthen the yen, contributing to selling pressure.
Nissin Foods recalls about 287,000 Nissin sauce yakisoba cup with chicken soup products. This is due to possible plastic fragments. Affected items have factory code R and a September 10, 2026 best before date. A factory equipment malfunction on March 10th caused the problem. 2 contamination reports have been received with no confirmed health issues.
Lot announced price increases for 35 ice cream products, including Yukimi Daifuku, effective July 1st. Prices will rise by 5.1% to 16.0% due to higher labor and material costs. This announcement was postponed after the Fair Trade Commission investigated Lotte and 5 other major ice cream makers on June 16th, suspecting cartel activities related to wholesale prices.
The Centrist Reform Alliance proposed establishing a new consultative body. This body will discuss issues regarding a potential merger with the Constitutional Democratic Party and Komeito. Both parties are expected to agree to the proposal, with discussions anticipated to begin soon.
Chief Cabinet Secretary Kihara met with the speakers and vice speakers of both diet houses on June 19th. He explained the outline of a bill concerning stable imperial succession. This bill, developed from the consensus of the legislature, aims to secure the number of imperial family members.
An amendment bill for the national referendum law passed the House of Representatives. The bill, which improves voting conditions for constitutional revision, received majority approval. It garnered support from the Liberal Democratic Party, Nippon Ishin Nokai, and the Centrist Reform Alliance. The bill has now been sent to the House of Councilors for deliberation.
The amended postal privatization law passed the House of Councilors, allowing an annual 65 billion yen in public funds for Japan Post. Starting next fiscal year, this aims to maintain post offices nationwide. The law also requires Japan Post Holdings to retain over 1/3 of shares in Yucho Bank and Campo Life Insurance, increasing government involvement and ensuring continued services.
A law passed establishing comprehensive support for elderly without relatives. Local social welfare councils will provide daily life assistance, hospital admissions, and post-death procedures. Services will be free or low cost for those with limited financial means. The Ministry of Health, Labor, and Welfare aims to launch this system by June 2028, addressing increasing single-person households and weakening family ties.
では、スポーツニュースをお伝えします。
Host nation Mexico is the first team to reach the World Cup knockout stage. On June 18th, Mexico defeated South Korea 1-0 for their second consecutive win. The winning goal came in the second half after a South Korean goalkeeper's error. Luis Romo scored into an empty net, transforming fan boos into loud cheers.
South Korea's 1-0 World Cup loss to Mexico is largely due to a critical goalkeeping error. In the second half, their goalkeeper collided with a teammate, dropping the ball from Mexico's Luis Romo to score. This costly mistake drew widespread global criticism, with many calling it a big blunder and expressing disappointment.
Japanese midfielder Takefusa Kubo will miss the World Cup match against Tunisia on June 20th. He injured his left knee in Japan's opening game. The team announced Kubo will stay in Nashville for treatment, not traveling to Monterrey. His participation in the third match against Sweden is also highly unlikely, as recovery is expected to take weeks.
German goalkeeper Manuel Neuer will retire from international football after the FIFA World Cup 2026. The 40-year-old rejoined the squad after initially retiring post-Euro 2024. Neuer recently set a record as the oldest German in a major tournament. He stated this will be his final World Cup, having won the trophy in 2014.
Japan's national football team has arrived in Monterrey, Mexico, for their second group stage match of the World Cup. On June 18th, the team traveled to Monterrey after training at their camp in Nashville, Tennessee. They are preparing to face Tunisia in this crucial second game.
The current World Cup has already surpassed the total red cards from the previous tournament. As of June 18th, 6 red cards have been issued, exceeding the 4 given in the entire 2022 Qatar World Cup. This count includes 3 in the opening match, plus 3 more from recent games.
A World Cup match between Canada and Qatar on June 18th was chaotic, with Canada winning 6-0. 2 Qatar players received red cards, and a Canadian midfielder was injured. Post-game, Canada's coach Jesse Marsh and Qatar's coach Julen Lopetegui had a tense handshake, with Marsh angrily pulling his hand away.
Former Netherlands international Rafael van der Vaart apologized on June 18th for remarks made during the World Cup match between the Netherlands and Japan. As a commentator, he said Japanese players all look the same. Van der Vaart expressed sincere regret, stressing he had no intention to insult or discriminate and opposes all forms of racism.
FIFA has confirmed nearly 390,000 online abuses targeting players at the current World Cup. Since June 11th, FIFA checked over 3.8 million social media posts, identifying and hiding around 388,000 inappropriate comments. FIFA uses AI and staff to monitor social media, a service implemented since the 2022 World Cup.
Japan faces Tunisia in their second World Cup Group F match on June 20th. A win won't guarantee knockout stage progression, but it's a crucial step. Japan drew 2-2 with the Netherlands. Sweden beat Tunisia 5-1. Winning against Tunisia would secure at least third place for Japan, boosting their chances to advance.
続いて国際ニュースです。
U.S.-Iran talks planned for June 19th in Switzerland were canceled, announced by the Swiss government. U.S. Vice President Vance also canceled his visit. Discussions were about a 14-point memorandum to end the war. Iran wanted to confirm U.S. implementation of a provisional agreement before continuing. The White House noted the negotiation process was complex.
Iran's Supreme Leader Mojtaba Khamenei approved the U.S.-Iran Memorandum of Understanding to End Conflict. This followed guarantees from President Pezeshkian protecting Iran's national interests. Mojtaba stressed Iran would not accept excessive U.S. demands, and future talks do not mean accepting the enemy's position.
U.S. Vice President Vance criticized Israel for discontent over the U.S.-Iran memorandum. He warned Israel against criticizing its only remaining strong ally, the U.S., highlighting substantial military aid. Vance stated President Trump is the only world leader sympathetic to Israel, urging Israeli ministers to face reality.
Foreign Minister Motegi announced that all Japan-related vessels with Japanese crew have now left the Persian Gulf. On June 19th, the last remaining vessel carrying 3 Japanese crew members successfully passed through the Strait of Hormuz. This completes the evacuation from the region.
President Zelensky warned on June 18th that Moscow will burn if Russian attacks persist. This followed large-scale drone attacks on Russia, retaliating for damage to Kyiv's Petrovsk-Lavra. Both sides exchanged attacks. Zelensky urged stronger sanctions on Russia to end the conflict.
The EU summit on June 18th saw all 27 member states reconfirm their support for Ukraine against Russia's invasion. This includes Hungary, which changed its policy following a government change. Previously, Hungary had not supported Ukraine under its pro-Russian government.
Andy Burnham, Greater Manchester Mayor and Labour Party member, won a UK by-election on June 18th. Seen as a future Prime Minister candidate, he advocates for a party leadership election amidst low approval for the Starmer government. His victory could increase pressure for a prime ministerial change.
A 3-year-old boy was found in critical condition in a UK zoo's crocodile enclosure on June 18th. Police arrested a 30-year-old man for attempted murder. The boy suffered serious injuries. Now critical but stable, authorities believe the man and boy were unknown. An investigation is underway.
Israeli Foreign Minister Saar announced on June 18th he would sever ties with EU Foreign Minister Kallis. This followed reports Kallis likened Israel's Palestinian policy to South Africa's apartheid. Saar called the remarks an anti-Semitic blood libel and demanded a retraction.
An armed group attacked Niamey International Airport in Niger on June 18th. A shootout with security forces resulted in 13 deaths, including 11 personnel and 2 civilians. The Al-Qaeda-linked JNIM claimed responsibility. Niger's military government detained 20 attackers and operations have resumed.
続いて、文化・芸能ニュースをお伝えします。
ILIT member Mocha will suspend her activities again, announced on June 19th. Her agency stated she needs more rest due to ongoing tension and anxiety during album preparations. Mocha had just returned in late May after a previous break. The girl group will continue as 4 members for the time being.
Singer Fumiya Fuji, 63, launched his TikTok account on June 18th, joining other big stars like Shizuka Kudo and Hiromi Go. Once a youth app, TikTok is now a popular platform for various generations. Many celebrities use it to announce events and connect with fans directly. This trend shows TikTok's evolution into a broader social media space.
The THOW Female Comedian Competition will not be held this year, announced on June 18th. Sources indicate the event, which ran for 9 years, may be ending. Though irregular future events are possible, the decision is partly due to declining viewership and the high costs of running such a large-scale competition.
Fuji TV announcer Yoko Ozawa announced her departure on June 18th after 11 years. She is the 10th announcer to leave the station in approximately 2 years. Yuka Takeuchi is also scheduled to depart next month. Ozawa expressed gratitude for her time and plans to pursue new challenges independently.
Japan's Agency for Cultural Affairs held a meeting on June 18th with publishers and translation companies to boost global manga promotion. This public-private group will develop overseas digital distribution and train manga translators. The goal is to combat piracy, ensure fair profits for artists, and spread Japanese manga culture worldwide.
Actress Kana Hashimoto, 27, and actor Taishi Nakagawa, 28, were seen on an intimate date in Omotesando, sparking renewed marriage rumors. They reportedly began dating in 2022 after co-starring and have been living together. Despite past breakup reports, their relationship appears to be progressing well.
YouTuber Ishin, 21, who documented his 4-year battle with osteosarcoma, passed away on June 16th. His family announced his death on social media. Ishin was diagnosed at 17 and had recently shared about experiencing unprecedented pain in his final posts. Celebrities have offered their condolences.
Saxophonist Kohei Ueno announced on June 19th that he married last October and his wife is due in November. He apologized for the news being revealed unexpectedly, as he had planned to announce the birth later. Ueno was previously reported to be married to NHK announcer Risa Hayashida, who is also pregnant.
Kazuya Kojima, 53, of comedy duo Unjash, apologized on June 19th for an inappropriate remark made on a live TV show last week. During a quiz, he made a suggestive comment about girls' school culture, which caused an awkward silence. He later explained it was a real custom, not a dirty joke, and said his wife scolded him.
Director Koji Fukada's film Nagi Diary, starring Takako Matsu and Shizuka Ishibashi, premiered at the Cannes Film Festival. The movie, set in Nagi, Okayama Prefecture, will be released on September 25th. Matsu and Ishibashi, who filmed in Nagi for a month, described their journey from Nagi to Cannes as a strange but very good experience.
今日のニュースは以上です。最後までお付き合いいただき、ありがとうございました。おやすみなさい。